the Middle East is a region that is not controlled by its own people. It is controlled mostly by outside forces, right? So we just saw, for example, the United States topple the regime in Syria and impose a new regime led by sort of cleaned up Al Qaeda folks who they are not representative of the will of the Syrian people, but that's who
No.
controls Syria, right? Similar in Jordan, Egypt, you have dictatorships that are extremely repressive. People who go there, it's tough to even talk about Palestine. People like the repression is unbelievable there. I mean, we've dealt with some crap in Calgary, but the repression in those countries is insane. Same in places like Saudi Arabia. There is no space really for average people to act. The very few exceptions are places like Yemen. I have to talk about Yemen because Yemen is a country that Ansarullah and the resistance forces there and the government there have openly said that they are standing in solidarity with Gaza. In fact, they're the only country in the world that is actually acknowledging their international responsibility under the Genocide Convention to intervene in cases of genocide. They've imposed a naval blockade on Israel. They're saying no ships will pass through the Red Sea if they're bound for Israel. They've said very openly, we continue this until the genocide in Gaza finishes. That's what they're doing. This is not like
Yeah.
some random act of terrorism, right? And in return for that incredibly principled act, the Americans have decided they're going to bombard Yemen, and they've been bombing it relentlessly throughout this period, and especially recently since the collapse of the ceasefire, so-called ceasefire in Yemen, keeping that blockade imposed. A few weeks ago, Donald Trump tweeted a satellite image of a bomb going off in Yemen, and you could see people on the ground, and the bomb went off, and Trump was like, "We've neutralized terrorists in Yemen," or whatever. And it turned out like this was a civilian gathering. The people that were wiped out were civilians. And here's the president of the United States tweeting about it, saying we've wiped out these terrorists.